I was listening to a YouTube video of reports of supposed feral humans in Appalachia. Uh, One thing I noticed, some of the reports weren't entirely incredible or not credible, but they weren't necessarily about feral humans. The first report was about this man seeing footprints in the snow, which appeared to be human footprints, but they weren't quite right as human footprints. The They were bare feet in the snow, and the toes were wider than would be normal, at least for somebody who had worn shoes. And they were in a gait that was wrong. Okay, this is somebody who's very experienced with tracking footprints. And the footprints were just inexplicable. Now, the fact that you see inexplicable footprints, it doesn't mean it's a Sasquatch. It doesn't mean it's a feral human. It means you can't explain it. Another story was about a miner, a man whose grandfather was a miner. And he had told a story about being in a coal mine, and he had told a story only one time that he had heard some very inexplicable noises and sounds. And he was underground in a coal mine. That made him think that maybe there were people living on like the other side of the mine, or that there could have been. Okay. Another story was about somebody who had given refuge, an occasional refuge, to what were apparently feral humans, which were described kind of more believably than in horror movie type feral humans. They were basically just people who were kind of lost to the system, who were communicated in kind of grunts and clicks, not in any language that the person could explain, and who were dirty, had matted hair, and just kind of did look kind of animalistic, but seemed kind of shy and timid. And, it's not unbelievable that, in an area that has like a lot of forests, a lot of caves, there could be some people living out there who got lost to the system. I doubt it personally, but it would be possible. I don't think they would be cannibalistic monsters. Otherwise, there'd be a lot of disappearances and they would be tracked and found. But, could there be timid people living on, foraging or fishing and that sort of thing? That's not unbelievable. It could happen. And, because there is a lot of territory in certain parts of America that is basically wilderness. And, it's possible there's things out there that we're not completely familiar with. And there could be people out there who who kind of are just, just live in there and are just um, used to a forested area. Again, I don't really believe that this is true, though. My guess about it is that these are just campfire stories and things that are made up. And to the extent that they're not made up, they're just things that are inexplicable. Somebody might have heard some odd noises or seen some odd things, and things tend to get woven together. Okay. But anyway, um, those are some of my thoughts. I do find the idea of feral humans kind of interesting.